Our penultimate predator is also the most pathetic one. 32-year-old Joshua Cologne. It's funny that his last name is so close to colon, because this guy's a massive piece of shit. Also, he's a plumber. Just thought I should mention that.
This guy from New York City just drove more than 50 miles in the rain to have sex with someone he thinks is a 12-year-old girl.
On a real note, 12 years old, not even a fucking teenager. You already had to be majorly fucked up to do this with an underage person, but below 13 is a special kind of evil. So glad that this trash pile was caught.
Hi, Poppy. Come on in.
Interesting that he didn't hear her call him Pappy and then thought, wow, I am actually old enough to be a dad. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't go through with this. Just kept going, didn't you, Colin?
He likes to be called Boss.
It's boss time!
His profile on the Link app shows he belongs to groups like Kush Smokers Are Us. Do you play? That woman in a bulletproof vest.
On a real, I hope Chris Hansen has one of these on underneath his suit, because these people are unhinged and looking at serious consequences. You never know if that deadly concoction means that they're about to snap.
He then makes a bizarre proposal no adult should ever make to a 12-year-old.
You make me more happier. It's too bad you aren't old enough to marry. I would marry you.
Whoever's there is typically the handcuffing officer, okay? This is where we want it to happen. We want to ultimately arrest him here, handcuff him here, and then basically just search him.
So insightful. For those who couldn't understand the complex cop lingo at play here, basically, they're going to handcuff and arrest the attempted child rapist.
Our driveway cam shows Cologne pulling up to the Sting house in a bright yellow car.
No need to be shy, Crime Watch Daily. You can show us his number plates. No one's going to take any notice of it whatsoever.
He's carrying an overnight bag as he walks to the back door. Watch again. He locks the door behind him. What could he be thinking?
I'm sure the child predator locking himself in with a child would bear no bad consequences at all, and definitely is not the start of a horror short film.
Look what I made you.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Well, do you want to try
My
it?
picture?
How narcissistic can you get? Just interrupts her to ask if he looks like the picture, but is also so self-absorbed that he doesn't realise that this decoy is not the one he's been sent pictures of. No wonder Bailey hated this guy.
What'd you bring me?
I brought dinner for myself. So
Oh.
This grown-ass adult man couldn't even be bothered to pick her up a chocolate bar. This guy sucks more than your average 12-year-old targeting sex offender.
That's a nice house.
Thanks.
I wish I had a house like this.
I suppose in a sense you do now, considering you're in the big house.
You look hotter than the picture.
Thanks.
Yeah.
1, that's because she's not a fetus. 2, that must have really creeped her out.
But when he comes out of the bathroom, he sees me.
Behind you, is that it?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I know who you are.
You know who I am?
Say my name.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
What's your name?
Joshua.
Joshua. Joshua what?
Cologne.
Cologne. And how old are you?
I'm 32.
32. What did you bring with you tonight?
Huh?
What did you bring with you tonight?
Clothes.
Clothes.
Why didn't you bring a board game, pajamas? You say you were going to be there for roughly about 6 hours time. So what were you going to do for the other 5 hours and 58 minutes after you raped a child?
And what were you going to do with this girl? What do you mean you don't know?
Guess have sex.
Have sex?
Yeah.
You would marry a 12-year-old girl
If she was old enough.
if she was old enough.
I don't want to say anymore.
You want to say anything more?
He continued to say more.
Yeah, well, we'll finally make out and make love. I was thinking of staying over and leaving the next morning. So when I come over, we'll go to your room and you'll take off all your clothes, since I'm the boss.
Jesus Christ, this guy's more pathetic than Lorne Armstrong, who I made a video about if you want to check that out, by the way. But online he's confident and tough sounding, but he completely bottled it with the decoy. Not unlike the way Darby bottled promotion in 2014, and 2016, and 2018, and 2019.
Why did you have her call you Poppy?
I don't want to say anymore.
He continued to say more.
12, Joshua.
I know, I messed up.
Have you done this before?
Nope.
Have you ever contacted an underage girl online before?
Yes.
We have evidence of that too. A 13-year-old.
Hopefully, Joshua's honesty made his conviction easier.
And what do you do for work in Brooklyn?
I'm a plumber.
A plumber.
I suppose he could have said,
No, I just stopped by.
There's no way I'm getting out of this anyway, so I'm not gonna say anymore.
finally, he shut the fuck up. Chris tells him who he is, even though he already knows, directs him out the back, and, like everybody else, he's met by the police. Him dropping his phone during his arrest like this kind of reminds me of Maurice Wallin and his sunglasses, though this Sasha Banks wannabe didn't throw them on the ground in a petulant fit. So they go to interrogate him, and I must say, those chairs look really uncomfortable, so bravo to the police for that.
And is 12 an age that you're comfortable with? That's your preference, or?
I date all ages.
I've heard that line before. Come to think of it, Joshua sounds like Jeremiah, and Jeremiah sounds a bit like Jared.
Now, Cologne is about to make a truly stunning confession.
Nah, this wins the Funniest Predator Photo Award, hands down.
I mean, I did have sexual relations with someone older than 12.
How old?
15. I mean, I talked, but I never actually went to meet them because I was always afraid
Of what?
to be like on that guy's show.
If you're gonna be afraid of the pedo slayer, you might wanna learn his name.
What exactly, if you could erase him from walking into the kitchen today, what do you envision yourself doing right now if that hadn't happened?
You guys know already.
What do you think would be different about a sexual experience with a young girl?
I guess in some way I can have, the power, I guess.
Oh, rot in jail, bitch. So he gets set a deserved $750,000 bail, which is later reduced to $125,000, which he posts somehow, hopefully from a loan shark. He pleaded guilty to 3 charges and got 7 years suspended after serving 3, and has to register as a sex offender. Absolute human filth, and it should have been so much longer.